Inside this room, all of my dreams become realities, and some of my realities become dreams.
All my life I've awaited your coming and dreaded it.
I like them French fried potatoes.
Insanity runs in my family. Practically gallops.
I always have a wonderful time wherever I am, whomever I'm with.
This can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
It's the Al Travis Show, and it's happening, man. I'm lucky to have him on the program. I don't know where you stand, Mr. Doherty, Bill Doherty on the program from Braver Angels, Minnesota. I don't know where you stand on the God thing, but I think he puts us where we got to be when we need to be there. I think that's how we've gotten to where we're at as a humanity, at mankind. You started Braver Angels. Was it Clinton and Trump the first go-round?
Yeah, right after, yep.
Yeah. And I got to meet you a couple of years back, and you talked about how this all got started. Basically, you found all your friends on the left couldn't handle what was going on the right. All the friends on the right couldn't handle what's going on the left. And you knew there'd be a better way. There had to have been a way. And what is your background that you thought you could pull that together?
I'm a family therapist, marriage counselor, okay? Especially of couples on the brink of divorce is my specialty. Does that sound familiar to the country?
So, again, God puts you where you need to be, and you started this thing, and I'm paraphrasing, you tell me how far off I am, but basically what you started was getting a group together, and I don't remember the number, 10 on one side, 10 on the other, and deciding how you could get together and discuss your feelings around these politics without judging the other person, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And without trying to change their mind.
There you go. So you get this together, and you realize after that was done that there was progress made and that there was a way forward. And I presume now, 20 years later, 15 years later, it's been
9 years later. Yeah.
9 years later, you have perfected, might be the wrong word. You have got a lot of history behind you, a lot of lessons learned, and you've honed your craft. And what I mean by that is you're sitting here today with all that's going on in Minnesota. We are ground flipping zero across this country. The world needs Braver Angels, sir. And I hope you're ready for this.
We're trying.
Okay. So you sent out, and I got it on an email, so I don't know if it was a podcast or whatever, but you put out a video of you just sitting and talking to the camera about what in the world we could do with the ICE operations, the civil unrest here in Minnesota. It hit so close to home, sir. I don't care what side you're on. You're going to take something from this. Can you give me the radio version of that?
Well, I can't do the full thing. It was 20 minutes, but I could start with a bigger picture that collectively we have failed as a country to deal with immigration in a meaningful way. Okay, so we're saying who's right? Should somebody have been shot? Why was this person? Is ICE good or bad? I mean that's all real. But bigger picture is we've been kicking the can down the road for 40 years on immigration. The last meaningful immigration reform was under Reagan. That was 40 years ago. And both parties, right? Even when they have the supermajority, they don't deal with it. And so it's a mess. And then we have this, I didn't say this on the video, I can say it on your show. Under Biden, in my opinion, the border was just out of control. Out of control. He said, I can't do anything about it. Okay. And so then Trump goes in, controls the border, and then we have a reaction the other way. Okay, so either kind of like parenting, I'm a family therapist, either you have permissive, like, oh my God, what can we do? Blah, blah, blah. And then authoritarian, like, bang. Yeah. But the bigger picture is that we've collectively failed to deal with this, and we have to deal with it.
Can we stop with your, I love this analogy from where you come from. You have an authoritarian dad and a permissive mom, and you know that is a recipe for mayhem in a family, right? Kids are going to go to mom if they need this, or the dad. This is what America's at right now, right? We have those two sides. If you want to bust it down to something not going to hurt anybody feeling, you're either passive aggressive, you're authoritative. The two can't exist without. I mean, I presume there have been marriages that have survived it, but you can't without some rules or guidelines, right?
Yeah. Between the kids get messed up. And we're the kids. So here's an analogy. I have a project I work with the police in Minneapolis and a group of black men. Okay. So one of the officers was saying he feels like the officers are caught between two warring parents, okay, who are like getting a divorce. Okay. The feds and the city. and they're caught right in between. So that's another analogy. They're trying to do their job here, and they can't do it.
So we're here. I've used this on the show for a while now. We're here. Whatever you think about happened last week, 2 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 40 years ago, for your point. Today, this is where we're at with Bill Doherty and Al talking on the radio. What is the first next best step? I keep saying it, I'm probably wrong because you're looking at 40,000 feet. I'm at 400 feet. Is both sides, can they just take a step back and breathe for 3 days? Give yourself 3 days. Let's not do anything till Monday. Everybody agree, go home. Ice guys, everybody, just go home. To me, that would give us time to at least get our mental faculties back, but that's probably just too naive. What's the first step, Bill? What do we have to do?
Yeah, you have to, the old de-escalation. Let's calm down here. There's this old thing about when you're in the bottom of a ditch, the first thing to do is stop digging.
Yeah, when you're in a hole. Yeah, absolutely.
Stop digging, okay? I think that's starting to happen. But the second thing is, in politics and family life, everybody has to save face.
Yeah,
that's part of how you do it. Yeah, that's why you don't say, screw you, get out of here.
Yeah.
No, they're going to lose face. Everybody has to declare partial victory.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how you.
They won't give up. Yeah, absolutely. Great call. They call it off-roads, right? When you're dealing with Putin, you got to give him an off-ramp. Otherwise, you're going to keep doing what he's doing because he can't take it that he lost. So you got to give him an off-ramp.
Right.
What are the off-ramps in this?
Well, the off-ramps here. Well, keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's my issue. And again, I love the idea of making this a family issue because we've all got crazy family members. So this, I think, brings it home.
Who think we're crazy, by the way.
Well, Hey, I'm that guy. I'm the guy in the family. Trust me, I know that. But my point is, families, there's a couple of sides, and you presumably all want to get to the same spot. When you throw politics in here, and that's why it seems like an interesting deal, and I brought it up before we went on, we're going into a session in Minnesota now where everybody, all sides, every human that has a job in Minnesota in politics has to run.
Yeah.
That gives them a situation where now's not the time for me to cave on my principle, to give. Yeah. It's a terrible time, and it's a different dynamic than just mom and dad and how we're going to handle, you know what I'm saying? So how do we deal with politics isn't a strange animal compared to marriage. When marriage isn't strange, but you get my point. It's different.
Yeah, that's right. There's all these, like mom and dad would have their own constituencies out there. Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to still be dad whether everybody votes you off Dad Island. It's still my,
That's right.
Thank you. That's the way to put that in.
Yeah. It's, it's going to take some courage for everybody here. Okay. Yeah. For what the common good is. And in the family situation, it's when mom and dad, they see the kids aren't doing well. So maybe we have to bend. Okay.
There you go. Okay. Sure.
And so the state, the country are not doing well. And it's not going to work to just keep blaming the other side as if we're all not partly responsible.
See, okay. And I got to go to break and then we'll come back with more because I love what you're saying about this. Back in the day, that's how old I am. We'd use this. Republicans and Democrats, although different, we all felt wanted the same thing, right? We wanted America, our child, to be better, to be doing better. We might have disagreed on the path to get there, but we all knew with good faith that that was what we wanted. Hard to hate a human if they're trying to get to the same goal you are, just have a different path. Hard to hate them. I think we've lost some of that. That idea that you think we want to do it for the kid. I think there's a thing in America, some just don't think we're good and we can get there. Let's talk on the other side about that. Can we, Bill?
Yep.
I love having you on the show. Bill Doherty, Minnesota's Braver Angels.
Tired of one-sided media and divisive noise drowning out your conservative values? Take back the conversation with Braver Angels. Join a grassroots movement to restore civility and find common ground without compromising your principles. As a conservative, your voice matters. Share your perspective on issues like immigration and public health in Red Blue workshops and help rebuild trust in our great nation. Be a leader in depolarizing America. Sign up for free at mn.braverangels.org. Braver Angels, where conservatives, liberals, and independents unite for a stronger republic.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters proudly presents Guys and Dolls, packed with comedy, romance, dazzling dance numbers, and unforgettable characters. This Tony Award-winning Best Musical takes you from the gritty streets of New York to the colorful cafes of Havana. It's a high-rolling musical spectacular everyone will love. Don't wait. Visit chanhassendt.com and grab your tickets today. Guys and Dolls. Chanhassen Dinner Theaters, always entertaining you.
As in alligator. L also in alligator. But it's not alligator. It's the Al Travis Show.
Lucky to have him. Bill Doherty in with us from Braver Angels of Minnesota. Bill, on that same idea about back in the day, we all wanted to get the same spot. We might go different ways of getting there. I don't know that I have that feeling anymore. And to use your analogy of the marriage, and maybe we all want to fix America because our kids are doing poorly. I get that. Maybe we'll do something. But in the marriage situation, there's that off-ramp. May not be the best course of action, but divorce is something you could do. And then we have the new reality. How will we live with that? I don't know that in a country there's that option. So there's almost that dead end, if you will. What is our next step, sir? How do we handle it?
Half of us can't move to Canada. Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we can't divorce. And part of what you're saying before the break is that we now are questioning each other's basic core motives. Okay?
Yeah.
Right. And so with immigration, people on the left say that people on the right hate immigrants, want to keep the country for themselves. Hate them, even though most of them are children or grandchildren of immigrants, right? Yeah. But they hate them, right? So you're motivated by hatred. And then people on the right say, well, those who say they love immigrants, they really want them here to depend on government and vote for Democrats. That you're saying your compassion for immigrants is a power grab. How do we deal with each other at that point?
That is the question, Bill. I don't know that. I know you do great having the groups together, 10 of these and 10 of that.
Right.
But this is what is it, 150 million one side, 150 million on the other side deal, and there seems to be no middle. What do we do? What would you suggest everyone do?
Well, let me give you a story of hope, okay?
Sure.
A couple of years ago, we were approached by a leader in a large conservative immigration advocacy group, limited. And he said for 30 years, 40 years, they had succeeded in blocking change. In other words, you block the other side.
Yeah.
And he's getting tired of that. It's getting a little old, okay? It'd be nice to see if we actually could get to some policy. And he asked us if we could find a liberal advocacy organization, immigration, to start a conversation, and we did.
Oh, wow!
And these two guys, I won't give their names at this point. They met in a hotel room in Washington D.C. and didn't tell anybody they were meeting.
Oh, wow.
Okay, now that has spread to 12 organizations, 6 conservative, 6, and they're meeting every couple of months to answer some Brave Angels questions. What's your story? How did you get to feel the way you feel about this? What's your story? Okay. What are your values? And what they found is they have some common values, and they are building towards, this will take a couple of years, they're building towards some joint policy solutions to take to Congress and to say, hey, we're going together to Congress.
Got that. I don't suppose they do it. Could you do this at the congressional level itself? Congressman Bob, Congressman Jane, let's get together, just the two of you. You're on the other side. And then say, okay, do you like what we did? Can we get 10 more of your buddies? Because 2 years, I don't know if we have it, Bill. I hate to say that. America's been here 250. We'll probably be here 2 years from now. But this is the time. This is ground zero.
We'll be here. There is a group called the Problem Solvers Caucus in the House. It's 25 Democrats, 25 Republicans. Who have a meal every week. Okay, they actually break bread together. Okay, and they craft some common policy. And we've done some workshop with them where they tell their stories. I'm like these two guys from this. They're opposite sides politically, but when I said, what life experiences led you to where you are, they both talked about their grandfathers who were active in their communities, and their communities were kind of falling apart. And they trying to do something with it. Both guys were practically teary talking about their granddads. Okay, now they took different policy means. One more government-centered, one more private-centered. The policies were very different. But they realized it was their grandfathers who stepped up for their communities. So when we've done these workshops with some members of Congress and legislators, there's this great line I have to share. After these two guys shared their journeys, they both have grown up in foster care.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And with schizophrenic mothers and fathers abandoned the family. And it was a driving force, but one took a more government-centered approach, the other more voluntary. And when we finished this, there were tears. The Republicans said, what I'm taking from this is you can't fight somebody in the same way when you know their heart. You can't fight somebody in the same way when you know their heart.
See, and I think I love that, because I have many friends. We're different been friends for forever, and we're very different politically. But I know they're good cats, right? I just know they're good humans, so you can't hate them. You just got to make sure you vote, so you vote to cancel their vote. I mean, we make fun of that all the time in Guy Weekend. I love having you on this program, sir. I believe your organization absolutely needs to be here at this time. I think God put you there. It's mn.braverangels.org. I presume if I made the call, people could go to that site and see your video you put out, that 20 minutes. Is it on there?
Yes. And I'll make sure it's, I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's there. Yeah.
Okay. And we have the ads. We've been running the ads. If somebody wanted to join the group, be a part of the group, just go there and
subscribe, just get on the newsletter. Yeah.
And that doesn't cost anything in the newsletter, I take it?
That's right.
All right. Bill, I appreciate you so much. And you introduced me to Will Wilkinson. Another great one. I want to throw his line out this week. I'm going to get it wrong. I'm paraphrasing. But basically, this whole week has been a number of days. He said, you can't hate your neighbor into believing what you believe. Paraphrasing by that.
Yeah.
That is such great words to live by. The hate thing has got to stop. His Berate the Hate is his website. I thank you for all you've done for Minnesota, for America, what you're trying to do. I just want to say that out loud to everybody. Thank you so much, sir.
Well, you're good for my heart.
Oh, no, you're good for America, and that makes my heart feel full. Bill Doherty, Braver Angels of Minnesota, mn.braverangels.org.
Braver Angels Minnesota is part of a national movement that brings together conservatives